So what's up? WP here. Wendell Pearl, where you at? Let's discuss it. Ozempic, gastroparesis, delayed stomach emptying. So we have heard this connection between different celebrities. Some celebrities catching an obsession. So if celebrities can catch an obsession with this medication that they inject, can the common people get an obsession too with it? Possibly. Maybe. But at the end of the day, we're always encouraged to talk to our licensed healthcare provider about the ones who is prescribing this medication. And as a disclaimer, be aware if you go into somebody's, they said garage. When people start going to garage, I thought people was going to gas stations, but wherever you go, when it's not licensed in your name with how to take, and they know what is going on with you personally as far as doing a health care history, taking blood work, just talking to you, getting to know you as an individual with a personal evaluation. At the end of the day, some doctors do care. Some doctors do gaslight, but some doctors do care. Try the spirit by the spirit and try to find out what's best for you. Let's get into the story further.
Singer Macy Gray opens up about being hospitalized and sick and ill as a result of taking the drug Ozempic. Now, many of us know that drug as a result of it being used for diabetes, but many people use it for weight loss as well. And of course, she found herself hospitalized as a result of that. Joining us here on The Factor Uncensored to talk about it, our guest from Lush RX owner Crystal Roney Smith and Lush RX assistant Melissa Rivas, who also uses Ozempic. Glad to have you both here on The Factor Uncensored. We've been hearing a lot of this as time moves on when it comes to Ozempic. When it first came out, or when people first start using it as a weight loss drug, they were excited about it. But then there are always down the line some side effects, and it takes an impact. So Crystal, as a registered nurse, a nurse practitioner, your thoughts about this?
I mean, we can't play around with the fact that it's a medication. Anytime you're given a medication, you have to be monitored. And before you even start a medication, you have to go through a thorough history, blood work, and we have to determine what's the underlying reason why someone is overweight. So in Macy Gray's point, we kind of did some research, and we saw she had a questionable lifestyle as well. She has a history of, and she actually talked about doing pizza. So her problems were kind of, seemed like was around her diet and lack of exercise. So she...
And you call that diet. That's being nice.
Well, I mean, like some people might call it.
What in the world? So what? Leave me alone. Leave me alone. I get it why some of these entertainers be like, leave me alone. I ain't saying that's the case of Macy Gray. But the way these healthcare professionals got on this news interviews, what the heck is so funny? That they want to bring up, well, Macy Gray has had some issues with XYZ. Now, those particular XYZs were blurted out, muted out. You can do your own research on that if you choose to. But if you get the drift, you get the drift. Then they want to bring up her diet. If you want to call that a diet. Because she's eating pizza. Pizza, okay, bread. Yeah. It doesn't digest that well when you have been diagnosed with diabetes. But even if you haven't been diagnosed with diabetes, how well does it digest? Period. But what if you want to pick the vegetables off the bread of the pizza? Does the vegetables digest well? They want to talk about Ozempic, which has been a very hot topic, which is so crazy because now you have some celebrities or some common people that is feeling like, well, the big behind, big thighs, big everything, oversized, big body, big truck, pocket wear, suburban. It's not the inside thing. Now you want to be small. Big, small versus small, big, blah, blah, blah. Who are you? Can you be happy with yourself? Maybe, maybe not, because then you might find something else wrong. Anyways, I know the word gastroparesis, although they did not use that word in this segment. Gastroparesis, delayed stomach emptying, which is a side effect sometimes of Ozempic. Now, I've never taken Ozempic. I don't talk about weight. I don't like to talk about weight, but because the word Ozempic has been surrounded by the word delayed gastro emptying to give you a feeling like you don't want to eat, like you already have a satisfying feeling from already taking the medication. Regardless, talk to your healthcare provider. See what they're saying if you are a candidate for that as to why you're taking it. Are you taking it for a weight loss med, or are you taking it because you want to maintain your diagnosis of diabetes? Now, in my case, it just came out of nowhere. Why isn't my food digesting the way it should? My diagnosis is what? The gastroparesis? Get out of here. What that mean? Now I need something to kind of speed up my metabolism for the food to digest. It was just like an all-day event watching my food digest on this monitor. They gave me, what was the choice between eggs what was it? Oatmeal? With this radioactive stuff in it. And I'm looking on the monitor. Digest, 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 move, move, move. And I have an overactive bladder. Oh, that was a combination of itself. But getting back to Macy Gray, let's talk about it. But it wasn't nothing funny. I'm not saying that they were laughing, but what was so funny at that part when the host and the guest did laugh about her quote unquote diet. This is real life. Somebody's life we're talking about. This is serious. Just talk about it if you want to bring awareness to this situation. Stop it.
One of the things that Ozempic is known for, it reduces cravings because it reduces appetite. So if your appetite is not moving, your gut is not moving, it's going to be delayed. And now on top of that, if you think it's delayed, you may do more, and then you're going to be in big trouble 2 or 3 hours later.
And of course, for those who are saying, should I take this? What would be your recommended advice despite hearing and reading the reports with Macy Gray?
If you decide that you need to take Ozempic, please go to a provider. Stop taking it from the car dealer in the back seat of the truck and things like that, because there are real risks that are concerning that everyone should look out for. And sometimes people are not a candidate for this drug.
And Melissa, for you, what was the deciding factor that made you say, look, I'm going to take it?
Once you start getting to a certain age, it's really hard to lose the weight. It kind of just sticks there. So then at the point where you just need a little bit of help, you make sure you go in. I talked to her, told her the issues that I was having. We did blood work. We talked about all those things because there's different factors. I mean, we're also going to premenopause and some things that could be weight loss. So she needed to see what the reasons were. And it worked.
And for you, how much did you lose on it?
20 pounds.
20 pounds. And how much time?
In 6 weeks.
And were you satisfied with that? And do you continue on? Or do you now take the holistic approach where, okay, I'm going to go to the gym, I'm going to live a better lifestyle or different lifestyle?
So it's supposed to teach you to eat better and to eat cleaner, so that way you don't have the issues of constipation, nausea, and those things that were happening to some other people. So I took it as this is a way to teach myself how to eat cleaner and better, and then now microdosing is usually what we do. If I need something, I'll let her know.
And for those who don't know what microdosing is, what is that?
So we start off at the lowest amount first and then work your way up, because the thing is you don't want to lose muscle mass. You don't want that Ozempic body, right? You still want to stay toned, so you have to monitor what you get like on an in-body, which tells you what your BMI is, what's going on, so you can understand the healthy way of losing the weight instead of just going in and taking it, not eating, not putting nutrients back in, not eating your protein.
And Crystal, at Lush, have you had any customers to come back and say, I don't know, and I'm not sure if you do it there, but have you had any customers to say, look, this is just not for me?
Absolutely, but we monitor our patients very closely. We see them weekly. you know, or we don't just send them to the streets on medication, because we need to see these things before it happens. So a lot of times, if we do have some with complications, we actually stop them and put them on something else, because at the end of the day, we just want our people to be healthy and lose weight the right way. And a lot of our people have cardiovascular risk, are pre-diabetic, thyroid issues, and hormone issues. So it's not just vanity, it's actually a holistic approach to losing weight.
And we've seen or heard about a lot of gastrointestinal problems as a result. For those who may not know what that is, can you explain it and some of the problems that have been reported, not necessarily that you've seen it?
Yeah, so it slows down your digestive system so your body can use insulin. Insulin regulates everything in the body. It actually keeps you from being hungry, and it kind of breaks down proteins and sugars and all those things. So if you slow down the gut, say you eat a whole pizza, that whole pizza is going to be standing around your gut forever. And then on top of that is grease, and it doesn't have many nutrients. And so when you eat rich foods like that, you're more likely to get constipation. So we actually educate our patients to eat cleaner foods. We tell them to eat protein and vegetables and stay away from fats. And even we tell them to kind of limit their sugars, because this is supposed to regulate their sugar. So we don't want them eating even like sugary foods either. And so some of the medications like Ozempic, you know, when we see that someone's not moving their gut, we ask them to drink water, to exercise, because you cannot be on this without exercise. It's not a substitution for exercise. You have to move. And so we catch it right away.